The Cloverfield paradox. Are you friggin' kidding me? Let's take a look. Hey guys, so when Cloverfield came out many years ago, I actually took the day off work. I really wanted to go and see this thing. It was covered in mystery. It was from J.J. Abrams. Nobody really knew what it was about. There was a massive marketing campaign about it. All we kind of knew going in that was just that iconic photo of the Statue of Liberty with the head missing and some kind of destruction befalling New York. I was compelled to go watch these things because I was just so curious. And it was a fantastic monster flick. A gigantic thing a la Godzilla destroying New York City from the perspective of street-level video cameras. And it was awesome. The special effects were fantastic and it was a great story. It wasn't great. The marketing and the build-up really kind of made it something special. That's the genius behind J.J. Abrams and his mystery boxes. He can really create quite a mystery surrounding his films, and it gets people in the doors. And he does create a fantastic movie-going experience. And then 10 Cloverfield Lane was dropped on us just mysteriously out of the blue. They were filming it, and we didn't really know about it until it was really close to release. Starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Goodman, about a guy who basically abducts a young lady and holds her hostage in a bunker, telling her that it's not safe to go out of there after she's been in a terrible car accident, telling her that's not safe. There's things out there in the world and it's dangerous, and he's got to keep her in the bunker. And the paranoia and the suspense and the mystery really builds up. And is he nuts? Is he crazy? Is he just holding this person hostage and her need to get out? And, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but when she gets out, damn, nice twist. And then there's this thing. The trailer for this came out during the Super Bowl and was released that very night on Netflix. I absolutely love the way J.J. Abrams operates. He's got his fans, he's got his detractors, but I'm very much a fan of this guy. I love the way he just makes movies a really special experience. He did The Force Awakens, which I absolutely loved. A lot of people think that one was just a retread of A New Hope. And he's back for Part 9 after a lot of people kind of were alienated by The Last Jedi. So I'm really excited to have J.J. Abrams back for Episode 9. But with the Cloverfield paradox, he's kind of really delivered us an interesting tale, and the method of getting it out there to us via Netflix was a complete surprise. And I was ecstatic to have a new Cloverfield movie out for us to consume, and I've only just watched it. It's been out for a couple of weeks now. Just finding the time. I've got a lot of DVDs that you can sell. You can see in the background there. I don't know, it was good, but I don't think it was as great as it could have been. It was well done, and I can't complain. Getting it on Netflix, it's just there, ready for you to watch whenever you want. That's great. Directed by Julius Onah, it tells the story of a group of scientists on the space station above Earth in the year 2028, and they're basically running some experiments on a new device to create a new sustainable energy as the world is running out of power. I guess we're still using fossil fuels in the future. Bad. Just, man. So they're trying to find a new renewable energy source, and they're using this thing, and there is a lot of debate about the use of this particular item having the potential to cause rifts in the space-time continuum, explained to us nicely by Donald Logue in a cameo at the beginning of the movie. And lo and behold, they run the power source, and yes, we do have an explosion of sorts, and our crew of intrepid astronauts are suddenly transported to another dimension where they are confused, confounded by what is going on, and discover that they really kind of need to get home because the current world they're in is not doing too crash hot. Starring Gugu Badar-Raw, sorry if that's wrong, David Oyelowo, John Ortiz, Chris O'Dowd, Ziyi Zhang, Elizabeth Debicki, and Roger Davies. So the only real comparative I have for this movie is if you crossed it between Event Horizon and the current series of The Flash. when they go to their other dimension, I'm not going to give away too many spoilers because that's not how I operate, but basically they cross dimensions into this alternate world, this alternate universe, where they start coming across some weird happenings in their space station. Things are going wrong, weird shit's happening. And it's basically, if you watch The Flash, where they do this really, really well is with multi-dimensions, there's multi-Earths, so every universe is the same with subtle differences. Like the main character in this one, Hamilton, she's leaving behind on her Earth a planet where it's just her and her husband after she's rigged up a power cell in her home to siphon energy because of the crisis, and something goes wrong with it. There's an explosion and her children are killed. So she goes on this mission to try and find an alternative fuel source. But in the other dimension where she lands, her doppelganger, her family's still alive. And she has a moral crisis on her hands. She wants to go see her family, but it's not her family. So what would you do? So the story is good. It wasn't great. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I can see why it didn't get a theatrical release. I know Netflix has kind of like got a real stranglehold on the entertainment market at the moment, and I love Netflix films. So my general impression of the film is it was entertaining. It was not as good as it could have been. It killed a couple hours on a lazy afternoon, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I really hope that we keep getting our Cloverfield films at the movies. And I do like the way that he's going to be tying all these Cloverfield films together, because this one was set in 2028, and it is mentioned in the dialogue that causing this rift in the space-time continuum and leaving us open to multi-dimensions and other creatures coming over and us going to them, and it can happen at any time in the timeline. So it does explain why we had this big monster in the first movie. Spoiler alert, could be a direct result of what people did in this movie, which is subsequently 20 years after the first movie. So he has got a little bit of a narrative thread running through the movies, but that is also up to the audience to kind of put together and piece together as well. So yeah, it's interesting, and I like the whole Cloverfield experiment that he's doing. It's fun, and it kind of gives a little twist on going to the theater and seeing something that you just don't really know much about, which is really rare these days, because going to the cinemas, you're seeing all the trailers. Spoilers are out there all over Facebook and all over the internet. You go onto YouTube any given moment and there's reviews everywhere, and people just dropping nuggets of information, and you can do all your research before you go to a movie because you want to know if it's worth your time. So more often than not, you go into a movie spoiled. So having him do this little trickaroo with the Cloverfield films is exciting. And yeah, springing movies on us the day of the trailer release on Netflix, that's very compelling. And yeah, the movie wasn't great, but I love where he's going with it. So, the Cloverfield Paradox, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Like, it was a good film, but it didn't grab me. It was entertaining enough, and I just wonder what the potential could have been if they had aimed for a big screen release, if they would have tweaked it and done something a little bit different. But what we got was fine, just not great. I do recommend you check it out. If you're a Cloverfield fan, definitely, check it out. It was fun. I had it on Netflix streaming in 4K and HDR, so it looks great. It looked fantastic. There was a little bit of compression details that you could see, so it's not as clear as the 4K disc could possibly be, but it was fine, and it looked really pretty on my TV set. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking into my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that big thumbs up button down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.